Well, it's a pleasure to be here on this beautiful lake and to see the progress that we're seeing here today. Diane, you haven't been here. Were you here the other day when? This is my wife Diane, and she's touring with us today. We've been to 3 areas. This is the third area. We went to Hackleburg this morning, where they're graduating tonight. 41 students. And so it was great to be up there with them, and I gave all the Hackleburg students a proclamation, and they were totally devastated up there in Hackleburg. There was nothing left of that city, basically. But they're going to graduate there, and we were excited to be up there with them today. Went to Tuscaloosa. They're making good progress in Tuscaloosa, just like you are here. I would like to say, though, that this is phenomenal progress that I'm seeing here today. Compared to what I saw on day 8, this is great. So anytime I go to an area that's making progress like this, I would like to commend you for that. You contractors, you're doing a great job. FEMA, you're doing a great job. Our AEMA people and all of our local officials, I just would like to thank you for the leadership that you have taken and just gone ahead and done your work. We've got to clean the lake up. We're waiting on that, obviously. It's not, much of the lake is unaffected. We want people to still come out and enjoy the lake, but they need to be careful in areas where there is debris. We have contracted with the Corps of Engineers to clean up the lake, and they will begin soon on that. And we'll make sure that the lake is again clean and safe. We just want people to be very careful if they're in areas where there is debris. We have put out extra buoys and extra warning areas so that people will understand that they in some areas have to travel and boat at their own risk. And they need to be careful because we don't want anybody to get hurt. We also want to tell them that it is against the law to drink and boat. And so we want them to be careful and not be bringing their sea-doos up in these areas and bringing their boats up in some of these areas. And they just need to be very careful about that. But again, I'd like to commend those who are doing this work, and as I see these trucks moving back and forth, this area is going to be clean very soon. We have had, as I say, great cooperation with our local officials. Y'all have done just a wonderful job, and thank you for, as I say, the leadership that you've taken. I'm going to now turn it over to Art Faulkner and let Art, he may have some more things he'd like to say about the cleanup. We'll then have some questions in just a few minutes if any of you have any questions. So Art.
Thank you, Governor. Let me just say that on the 1-month anniversary of these catastrophic storms that hit the state of Alabama, that the progress that you see here in this area, and as the governor has explained that they've seen around the state, is a direct result of exactly what the governor instructed us to do on the day that the storms hit. And that was to make sure that we put everybody in place to be able to help the citizens of this state. He immediately called on the president to send our federal partners in to be able to assist us. And we currently have over 1,200 FEMA employees in the state of Alabama assisting with the individual assistance, working in conjunction with the Corps of Engineers on the debris removal, helping the local governments in the areas that assistance is needed to be able to continue with this cleanup. We have individuals that are in long-term temporary housing in the state and surpassed a goal initially of having that done within 45 days. And we will continue to push the mark to make sure that we have that temporary housing available to everyone in the state that needs that. while sometimes we look at individual areas, I think that it's very important to understand exactly what the magnitude of these storms were. Some 53 tornadoes with a combined length of over 640 miles, a combined width of over 10 miles wide, affecting approximately 65% of the citizens of the state of Alabama. From this area north to the Tennessee line in Madison County, and from southern southwest Alabama around Choctaw County all the way north to Jackson and DeKalb County on the Tennessee line. The governor still has state employees that are out and are assisting with the recovery efforts. And just as he has instructed us to make sure that we are out there doing the job that we need to do, I would also say that there are a lot of individuals and volunteers that have come into this state to assist with the cleanup and the long-term recovery effort in this state, which will be a really long-term recovery, longer than probably we've ever experienced in this state. It's going to require the team that the governor has put in place and is the leader of to continue to focus on the areas not only with the immediate needs of the individuals, but making sure that we look at all areas to include industry, to include nonprofits and being able to come in and continue to help with the volunteer efforts in places where individuals will not be able to be made complete with their housing needs from either insurance or from the federal government. And so we will continue to strive every day to make sure that behind those numbers that we talked about a few minutes ago, and even to include debris that, as you see here, over 10 million cubic yards of debris has been identified in the state. And Governor, I wasn't sure exactly how much that was, but they tell me that that's about the size of a football field, about a mile high. And that's a large amount of debris. So with all those large numbers, I think that what we have to keep in mind is what the governor constantly reminds us is that we can't lose fact of the sight that behind those numbers are citizens and individuals in our state that we absolutely must make sure that we don't overlook and that we don't forget and that we constantly remember that they're the reason that we're out here and that we're doing this. So Governor, we appreciate what you've done, not only here in Tuscaloosa County, but all across the state, helping us to give us the orders that we need to help the state do it.